Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. Today we're going to talk about your boy, Matt Riddle. And because a lot has been going on for the last 2 days. To sum it up, Matt Riddle supposedly went to rehab. Then sources within Matt Riddle's camp said that he's not in rehab. Then one of his girlfriends said that he is in rehab. And then she complained about his treatment. Then another one of his ex-girlfriends claims that she was abused by him. Then there was a third girlfriend who came out and said that the other girlfriend wasn't really his girlfriend. And look, it's just a lot to go through. And I am owed at least a like, for wading through all of these porn stars, because almost all of them are porn stars. Which means I had to wade through tons of porn in order to at least get some timeline of this story. So, hook your boy up with a like. So, let's start with the very beginning, where Matt Riddle was written off of Monday Night Raw, and on December the 9th. So, December the 9th, Matt Riddle is written off of Monday Night Raw via attack by Solo Sikoa. Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net states that the real reason that Matt Riddle was written off television was that he had failed a second drug test. It says that is not the real reason that WWE has written Riddle off television for the next 6 weeks, nor is it the first time that WWE has had to write him off television or delay plans. Over the summer, WWE had originally planned for Matt Riddle to have a match against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, but that match was pushed back to Clash at the Castle. It was reported at the time that the reason was for a change due to a creative direction. Sources have told me that the reason for pushing back the match was because Matt Riddle failed a drug test leading up to SummerSlam. This was also the last test under Vince McMahon's regime. With Vince no longer in charge, a quote new creative direction was taken regarding Riddle, and his big match against Rollins was postponed until Clash at the Castle. Additionally, I was told that the company informed Riddle at the time that another failed drug test would result in a quote rehab or fire situation similar to what happened with Jeff Hardy. This leads us to Matt Riddle's most recent 6-week television write-off. I was able to confirm that the reason that WWE wrote Riddle off TV is because he failed another drug test and was sent to rehab. The belief going around is that he has already entered treatment or will be going in soon, as most programs run for 30 days, and he would need to be finished in time for his return in 6 weeks. All right, so that's Bodyslam.net. At this point, we're going to diverge a little bit because we're going to talk about the rehab part. One of his girlfriends, a porn star by the name of Jordan Max, on December the 10th, she tweeted out, "Wishing you a speedy recovery," to Matt Riddle on Twitter. "I'll miss seeing you on my TV every week, but I know you'll come back and be better than ever." Positive. This girl later would flip on him, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So, wrestling headlines and other sites put out a statement, maybe, what was this, a couple of days later, that the real reason Matt Riddle was going away for 6 weeks was because he was dealing with pressure from his divorce, which of course also makes sense. Now, other sites basically state that the WWE and their drug wellness program is that if he had failed a second test, he would be out for 60 days, which is longer than 6 weeks, which is true. If he had gotten, which I didn't think about it at the time, but if this was his second strike, this would be a 2-month vacation for Matt Riddle. So, that would beg some questions about whether Matt Riddle really has failed another drug test or not. In any event, the drug test situation, Matt Riddle won't be on TV for 6 weeks, regardless of the reason. All right. A week later, No DQ was following Jordan Max, the young lady who I just read the tweet wishing Matt Riddle a speedy recovery. She then decided to out Matt Riddle as a cheater. So it says, adult actress Jordan Max tweeted about the situation in response to a user's joke about Riddle being with another adult actress known as Misha Montana. "Does it make you feel better about yourself to kick people when they're down?" she tweeted. Try to imagine for 1 second that the man you spent the last 6 months with, who said I love you for the first time 2 months ago, is all of a sudden making out with someone who is in your industry, and then, rather than keeping plans for Christmas and New Year's, he's going to rehab. Do you have any idea how confusing and hurtful that is? So then she says, she was confronted with him going to rehab versus spending time with her on Christmas and New Year's, she says, can you even read? That's not what I'm saying at all. He told me that he quit drugs, and then to find out he's A, with another girl, B, doing those drugs with her, and C, failing drug tests, so he has to go to rehab. For it is disappointing. So, at that point, she is seemingly confirming, and there's pictures of them two together, so it's not like she's like a random girl. She's seemingly confirming that Matt Riddle is in rehab. So from that point, we have to get to some of the ugliness of it. So because she came out of nowhere and essentially said that Matt Riddle was cheating on her, she also has been tweeting about Matt. She says, quote, in one tweet on December the 20th, he's literally not even taking rehab seriously. Stop acting like you know what you're talking about. She's talking to one of these crazy fans who needs to defend Matt Riddle on Twitter. When she was talked about the Candy Cartwright situation, which of course Candy Cartwright claims that Matt Riddle raped her in a van full of people, one of which was the driver. And I quote, I watch wrestling, but I don't follow it that closely. He told me about his side of the stories about Lisa and Candy and painted himself as a victim, and I, very stupidly, believed him. She said, and then she says later on, I was unaware of all of that when we met. And when he told me about it, he painted himself as the victim, and I am not his girlfriend. So, she then starts to retweet a young lady by the name of Ivy Malibu. So, Ivy Malibu, who is again another porn star, is on her timeline. She's crying in videos, but she's not using any names, about how she had a rough year in 2022. And it's all because of one specific person who has gone on to ruin her life. And she wishes this person the best of luck and all this kind of stuff. And it's really sad, heart-wrenching stuff. It's not, hey, I was abused, hey, I was raped. It's nothing like that. It is, however, that, you know, this person basically sucks and ruined my year, essentially. So then it comes out on December the 20th, another Matt Riddle ex-girlfriend. This one is the girl he cheated on his wife with, Daniela Petro. She comes out and she is now claiming that Matt Riddle abused her. So this is from Ringside News. She says, you know, it's Tuesday, and I think it's like December the 20th. And I am doing this video because, one, I want the women to hear it out of my own mouth. I'm sorry for attacking you on Twitter. I am sorry for lashing out because you guys didn't want to listen to me. I'm sorry that this could have been prevented if he would have just stopped. Probably back in like the Candy Cartwright days when she sued him for sexual abuse. You would think someone would learn not to hurt women or abuse women. I'm talking about Matt Riddle. Talking about you, bro. You. I told you, you have hurt me. But I am not going to stop until you've stopped. And right now, I think the newest victim is Misha Montana, which she's like, I'ma stand by my man phase solely. I respect girl. I respect it. But you're going to find out, and it's sad, you're going to find out the hard way. Jordan Max found out the hard way. Ivy Malibu found out the hard way. I found out the hard way. We all do. We really do. She says, finding out the hard way that you have been conned into loving a man who uses your love to then take advantage of you, to then manipulate you, to sexually abuse you, to torment you, and he has a pedestal of fame, and he has the support of people who idolize him. But why would you idolize the devil? Why will anyone listen to me? I didn't sue him. I didn't go for money. And no disrespect to Candy Cartwright for doing it, but I literally was just trying to stop him. And you all said I was doing this for clout. The man abused me sexually, and you didn't want to listen. And now you have videos like that, like Ivy Malibu was putting out, and she's still in that I want to protect him phase because she's not saying his name, but she's talking about Matt Riddle. And y'all don't want to believe it. Even Jordan's in that protecting phase because she's still under the impression that she was only mentally and emotionally abused, and you guys are using her work against her. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it very arrogantly. I told y'all. I told you all about him. I told WWE, and what are they doing? Sending him to rehab. Rehab's not going to fucking help him. He still has this fucking job. He's still going to fucking do what he's doing. That man has so many fucked up mental fucking issues, and he takes it out on us. Fucking innocent women. Have you all noticed we all look alike? Blonde, long hair, high cheekbones, big lips, pronounced jawline. That's a predator. He has a type. He preys on us. Now, granted, there have been other casualties too along his traveling ways. There was a girl in Canada. There's been a lot of others, which I'm not going to speak about because that's not my place. But come on, people, wake the fuck up. WWE, you need to fire his ass. And 30 days in rehab is not enough time to fix what's fucking wrong with this man. Charges might, but it's not here nor there. How do you prove sexual abuse? The one thing Matt Riddle has never, ever, 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 ever done is be held accountable. Ever. Oh, I'm doing drugs because of my divorce. Okay, so you're doing drugs while you were cheating on your wife with your mistress, who you then forced to do things to. What about with me? You said I made you the happiest going through your divorce, but you still abused me. So when's the accountability going to happen? When is people going to wake up and start realizing what I've been telling you, what these women are telling you? Instead of attacking us, how about you start seeing the fucking pattern? Oh my God, all these women, we have no affiliation with each other, with each other. Oof. Well, maybe two of them because of the porn industry. I was never a wrestler. I don't know who fucking Ivy Malibu is. We all live in different fucking states, which is even crazier. But the one thing we have in common, the one thing is Matthew Riddle. The one thing, but yet he calls us crazy. He says we're liars, but we all have basically the similar same fucking story, just played out in different ways. Think about it, people, wake up. So that was a really, really, really long video. It was a really long video, okay. So she claims that Matt Riddle is abusing her. Now, some of them are in the same industry. Some of them are porn stars, like I said earlier. Jordan Max is a porn star. Ivy Malibu is a porn star. And Misha Montana is a porn star. And I think they all live in Nevada. So I think that all of these porn stars, not only do they kind of look the same, not really, but they are porn stars who wear blonde wigs or whatever. And I think they all live in Nevada, thereabouts, or travel to Nevada pretty regularly, which I think is where Matt Riddle is from. So Misha Montana, who is the new chick, is the one that she has kind of been, again, on the Matt Riddle train so far. So Misha Montana goes on Twitter. She has been responding to the Jordan Max tweets, because she has been wading in the water with all the wrestling fans. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the more razor-toothed piranha in the tank in a minute. But Misha Montana tweeted out, what was this, December the 19th. I'll say one thing. I've said it before. I don't want to hurt anyone. I feel horribly that people are hurt, but looking to social media to ease that pain won't make you feel any better. I promise. As tempting as it is, and I'll be honest, some of you almost got me today. I was about to respond with emotion. And then she says, but I didn't because it doesn't help anything. A lot has been said about me lately, and I don't care. I'm unbothered because I know who I am, and I don't need validation from social media. I am who I am. Yes, I fell in love. Yes, I made mistakes. I'm human. But in my mind, I will be judged by how I behave, how I treat people. And if you don't agree, I don't have the energy to fight it. I will tell you right now, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this shit. Whether you think I do or not, I've always tried to be good. So then she tweeted out at Jordan Max, the story where Jordan Max comes out and says that Matt Riddle was cheating on her. Misha Montana responds, how do you cheat on someone when you're not in a committed relationship with them? Which, you know, makes sense. Then she accused Jordan Max of being a clout chaser. So it's gotten pretty ugly. Needless to say, this Matt Riddle situation has gotten pretty wild. But from what it seems like, and I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole because I already know it doesn't lead anywhere positive, that whenever the situations revolving Matt Riddle pop up, there is always David Bixenspan. And he has of course, burner accounts on Twitter. But he has been now kind of wading in the water, trying to use that these people are now mad at, Matt, to get interviews and to get tweets at them and stuff like that. And people don't understand how exploitative that is. Somebody's on Twitter because they feel bad they've been cheated on or led astray or whatever the case may be, maybe even abused. And you swoop in asking, accusatory questions, trying to prey on the fact that their feelings are hurt and upset, because people will say whatever because they're upset and their feelings are hurt. Stuff that they probably wouldn't have said before, they'll say now. Things that they wouldn't talk about before, they're willing to talk about now. And that seems to be the big issue here, because Matt Riddle was not really public with any of these people, even though he may have videos with them. Like he had a video with this Daniela Petro, right shortly after he got divorced. The two of them had pictures together, they were in videos together, etc. Then we see that, apparently that thing blew over, and then now this stuff is happening. And it's an interesting thing that people claim that they're very sensitive to victims. But the moment somebody says they're a victim, you swoop in with either false sympathy, which is utilized to get information, which we know reporters typically do all the time. Oh, I feel so sorry that this happened to you. Did he talk to you about blah, 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 blah? And then you have to, she's gonna, oh, this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. And now you got more articles to write, you got information. But that's neither here nor there. The issue with Matt Riddle is that he apparently is just running through the porn industry and leaving victims in his wake. Are any of them been physically abused? Who knows? Who even knows what the hell emotional abuse is? What context that even means? Because it used to mean that, you yelled at people and berated them and made them feel less than or whatever. But you don't really get a lot of those stories either. There's very little in the way of details in these situations. Nobody's going to court. It doesn't seem like. It doesn't look like anybody's going to sue him or anything like that. It's just people running his name through the mud. And to be quite honest, Riddle's name is already mud. If we're being honest, even going back to the days of UFC, where basically Dana White was calling him out for, his drug usage and a lot of the other crazy stuff he was doing when he was in UFC. He just seems to have a crash and burn style life and it does remind me, as I was reading through a lot of this stuff, reminds me a lot of the Teddy Hart documentary that that's been up on Peacock that we talked about on this channel, I think on a live stream a couple of weeks ago. It's several different women, similar patterns, all of them were students of Teddy Hart or trying to get into the wrestling business or whatever, and this is just his porn stars. They're together for a little while. Everything is fun. He's probably into the same things they're into, but then he flutters along. He does something else. And maybe he's bipolar. Maybe he has a different personality in the dark or whatever the case may be. He's an asshole. He flips on them, cheats on them, and then they go on Twitter to cry about it. We don't know. But until there's something actual, like, hey, we're gonna go to a courthouse to prove that something actually occurred, there's not much to discuss here except gossip and hearsay. The Candy Cartwright, she did sue Matt Riddle for sexual assault or whatever, and then she dropped the case. Which, anytime somebody mentions that, remember that she dropped the case. And that it is what it is at that point. And she implicated Gabe Sapolsky and WWE into that whole situation. It's all in the new Matt Riddle playlist that will be on the channel. Thanks everybody for listening. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.